Act 7.1 Exploration Guide. Hello everybody, this is going to be one of those videos. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe and all that stuff, support the channel, and also the cheat sheet, if we're referring to this as a 7.1 cheat sheet, will be available over on Discord, link is in the description. The cheat sheet itself is broken down into several tabs for the respective different types of coverage of Acts 7.1.1 going to 7.1.6. This video incorporates a lot of feedback and information from my hashtag Act7 advice tab, and also takes into consideration the amazing work that was put together between Marcus Pack 16, a link to his channel is in the description, as well as AJ Claw, link to his channel is in the description, and G Kelly 26, link is in the description for their channels. Just to quickly explain something at the bottom, I've put something to just explain the color. So this orange here is the team that I used, or the team that I found most effective. And also I would take at least one champion in that would be, at times, not all the time, that would be a definite boss usage champion. So I'd use them on some of the bosses here. But yes, you can skip out them, so it just gives me two options because look, mistakes happen. And maybe one time I'd be like, oh, this works. Next time I'm like, well, maybe this didn't work out for me. But you only do the boss 2 times. So yeah, picking's important. Okay, so let's begin. Over on the left-hand side, you have got Masochism. You've got Double Down whenever a skill attacker fails to apply debuff. To be honest, I felt this was more suited to hashtag Metal Champions, and we'll go over some of the options in a second from the spreadsheet. But can't stop, won't stop. That's annoying. And also, you've got Flare and Colorblind. It's up to you whether or not you want to run champions of the same type are in your crew. And I would say you may want to play into the narrative of degeneration, and there's some effects for that. Turtling. Yeah, that's annoying, and Pleasure to Burn. So who are the potential options for this? Well, in this interaction, it works out better to either play into the narrative of the node or have options alternatively. I've got Nick Fury, Cap, Infinity War, Black Widow, Clairvoyant, Human Torch, and Corvus when it comes to Pleasure to Burn. And I just felt that because there's actually a few champions that have Corvus's missions in, that it kind of like worked out well. Black Widow, Clairvoyant, you can rotate around to the Incinerate. But that's up to you how you play that. But there are other options as per, you know, the lads, guys, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Red Goblin, Domino, the Domino Trinity, because effectively you want to do some of those Incinerates as well. But as I said, you're either playing into the node or you're kind of like interacting with it. Turtling, Corvus, Magneto, Nick Fury, Cap Marvel movie, Cap Infinity War. Those work well for me, but Ghost and Medusa are other options. Masochism. And again, it's down to options of how you work around Masochism. Magneto, Doctor Doom, Cap Infinity War with Nick Fury. So those two there work very nicely. And Warlock with a Human Torch on the end. And then Invade, you've got Massacre, Colossus, Cap Infinity War, Corvus, and Doctor Doom. I don't know if I said Corvus twice, but yeah, that worked out for me. But I think any champion really works for that, especially if you're hitting into the block, you're doing some damage. Flare, Hyperion, Spider-Ham, Corvus, Hulkbuster, Doctor Doom. Again, with that narrative of play, Angela as well, Awakened Angela, playing into that degeneration damage that you might get. So you're playing into it as opposed to anything else. But I do like the idea of having various different champions for it just to test out. So that's why, you know, Hulkbuster I really enjoyed breaking out. Rogue is also from the lads info. Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Magneto, because Magneto is pretty cool, especially playing in with the unstoppable side of things. Doctor Doom, Black Widow, Clairvoyant, Scarlet Witch, Warlock, champions I used. But you could use Dragon Man, Symbiote Supreme, Longshot, Cap Marvel movie. Now, when it comes to bosses, there are a few things to consider, but I'm just going to cover this in a very kind of like quick sense. So first of all, on the left, you got a quite annoying, no, not quite annoying, and actually, all right, I actually like Black Widow Clairvoyant. She's pretty cool, especially with having Footloose, but you can work into that one. With Cap Infinity War, nullifying the unstoppable, Human Torch, dealing with the mystic side of things, Void, because you're keeping your distance, Red Guardian, playing into using a slow debuff, the same with She-Hulk, and Quake. That is kind of like a good way to kind of like take on that champion. When it comes to Yondu, right at the top, this is all about having a champion that is able to deal with the super masochism. And that's how I kind of like played it out with either, for me it was Warlock, but there are other options. You could go Corvus, Magneto, you could go with Human Torch, Ghost, especially with the bleed side of things. And Black Widow Deadly Origin, Corvus for the shock immune side of things with Proxima is an option, but I would say the better options would be, and if you went with Doctor Doom, I didn't personally enjoy it, but Nick Fury and Falcon were 2 other options to consider. That's Act 7.1.1. Now on to 7.1.2, Red Guardian and the Static Blast route. Ooh, this was fun. But we'll go over some champions in a minute. We also have Encroaching Stun with Hurt Locker, so you're going to be rotating around your special attacks. And Encroaching Stun is particularly annoying, but there are some really cheesy and fun options for this. Destructive Feedback, any champion normally goes for this, but as well we'll have a look at the list in a second. Typhoon and Spite, ooh, not a nice combination, but there are some options for this. And then finally we've got Special Delivery, Cosmic Avalanche, and Mixed Master. That's the tricky one there, having that Mixed Master in. Let's have a look at the options for this. So, for Static Blast, Doctor Doom, Human Torch, Magneto, Magik, and Hyperion, with Red Goblin as another option. That worked relatively well for that. Typhoon, that's the really tricky one, I think. No, it wasn't that one, it was a different one. Red Guardian, Doctor Doom, Nick Fury, Archangel. I think I chose Doctor Doom for this one just to deal with power control elements, with the lads going for Ghost with Wasp and as well Magic as well. Again, I think the power control narrative is with that one. Special Delivery, which I think is a little bit annoying with that one, especially I think that's replication of special attacks. Falcon, Corvus, Proxima, Nick Fury, Doom, and the options from the lads were Quake, Cap Infinity War with Cosmic Champion and Hyperion. And then on to Encroaching Stun. Nick Fury is probably hands down the best champion for this, especially as you go into the second phase. I think you become stun immune with that one, so that works incredibly well. More so, I think if you time your special attacks fine enough, and like, look, let's face it, we know that that's annoying, but you know, good champions are always kind of like helping you out. Black Widow Clairvoyant can help out as well. It's going to take back some health, and as well power stealing. Any champion that would power steal and quickly get you to the next special can be quite good, especially as you rotate round as the Encroaching Stun ends. Destructive Feedback, any champ works. I think I used Nick Fury for a good chunk of that, but I think it was just a hodgepodge of whatever's available, and then maybe a champion that was for the boss in that particular team. Yes, you can switch out, but still it worked. Cap Infinity War, Human Torch, Warlock, and Doctor Doom for Vivified even. That's pretty cool. Void, Spider-Ham, Quake, Ghost with Hood, which is, yeah, just those things worked relatively well. And in this particular fight, this one has the annoying champion I don't like, which is Rhino, especially a champion where the defender is struck by a basic attack. They gain a tantrum charge when the defender is knocked down. All tantrum charges are removed and each deals a burst of physical damage. 10% of the defender's attack, but while a defender has a concussion, disorientate, innovate, or taunt debuff, all tantrum charges are removed without causing damage, which is good if you've got champions that do that. And we'll go over some of the options in a moment. But also we have got on this path Venom. Venom's actually pretty fun of a champion, and Black Widow Clairvoyant was actually a relatively cool interaction. And also we've got the lovely Green Goblin, which is all right. I think it was a case the champions I used were actually pretty cheese and fun. Again, this incorporates a lot of the stuff that from the lads information. But for Venom, Black Widow Clairvoyant, Corvus. I think I did use Corvus once actually. That was pretty funny. Black Widow Deadly Origin, I must have used that, that's why I put it down in the notes. Ronan, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Colossus, Ghost, Symbiote Supreme are your options there. Also with Rhino, any champ, but I found that Nick Fury with the SP1 was better if I could time it right. Spider-Ham, Apocalypse, Emma Frost, Sunspot, and Stark Spidey. Those are from the lads information. And finally Green Goblin, Human Torch, I think to deal with the health side of things. Especially doing the, I don't know if Nova, I think I started Nova Flame, didn't rate it. I think it started without Nova Flame. I didn't do it with a pre-fight, sorry. Magneto, Nick Fury, Warlock, I think I used Warlock most. I thought that was a good champion. Cap Infinity with Tech Champ and Magik. So, no brainer, that works, and called against the interaction. Okay, on to 7.1.3. The bottom route was actually the most fun. If you've seen one of my videos on this, I did a Corvus cheese thing, which was just like hundreds of thousands of damage. It was kind of nice, but yeah, like there was like it seemed like it was felt like a super flare type thing which is part of this kind of blaze. So you've got Flare and Blaze. Yeah, this downward route here has got some really kind of cool interactions, and as well with Special Connoisseur, there's actually some really cool champions to take on, I think mutant ones. Life Transfer is actually pretty fun and pretty cheese, and as well with Mesmerize, with Dizzy and Stun Vulnerability, can work particularly well with some champions. And then finally, Crumbling Armor. I didn't really enjoy that one too much, but let's have a look at the potential options to take in against that content. So against Blaze, Dr. Doom, I think I used that just to kind of like take me through to the end boss for interaction. Angela and Spider-Ham, because these are degeneration situations, they could be quite fun for this. I think I tried Angela and she works. Spider-Ham and he works. Spider-Ham actually comes back to be used against That's Gonna Sting. Hulk Ragnarok, of course, especially again with interaction. Nick Fury. Nick Fury was pretty cool, especially because, you know, degenning, you go into your second phase. Although the persistent charge is issue currently. Cosmic Ghost Rider Magic and Black Widow Clairvoyant. I think Black Widow Clairvoyant is actually one of the best options for this, even though I've kind of like not put it there, but I agree that it's probably one of the best, especially because you gain back health on the SP2. So it becomes a no-brainer there. And That's Gonna Sting. So again, that boils down to the degeneration side of things. Any champ can be used, but Corvus, Spider-Ham, Cap Affinity Ward, Black Widow, Deadly Origin. I actually enjoyed her the most. But Doc Ock with Mr. Fantastic, She-Hulk with Mr. Fantastic, Quake and Human Torch. I think She-Hulk with Mr. Fantastic and Doc Ock are two great kind of champions to use with that. Mesmerize, Falcon, Corvus, Proxima, Archangel, Magneto. I think that's Corvus Proxima was to deal with the situation of the Dizzy. However, though, I think that Apocalypse, as well as a few other champions that interwork with Dizzy, could be a very good option for this. I don't really kind of situate to there. We'll do an updated one. I'll do like a 2.0 version of this. Crumbling Armor, Warlock, Doom, Corvus, Magneto. I can't remember my other champion I used for this, but Ghost with Hood is recommended. Life Transfer, Cap Infinity War, Corvus, Doom, Venom, and Nick Fury. Aegon Immortal, Hulk, Daredevil, Hell's Kitchen, Human Torch, and Elsa Bloodstone. All of those work pretty well for Life Transfer. Special Connoisseur and Gimme, the accompanying node. Hyperion, Apocalypse, Magneto, Namor, Nick Fury, Emma Frost, Sunspot, Havoc, Pyramid X, and Omega Red. Or Omega Red, apparently. Need to change that. But yeah, it's just that those interact pretty well, especially being mutants. And that's the big narrative of that particular path is mutants. So that works out pretty well. On your boss side of things, there are some pretty nasty bosses this time. I think one of the most nastiest has got to be Archus. And I did not enjoy that Archus fight. Who has? I mean, Archus is annoying because of the cold snap and as well the armor break and the power gain, which is just off the chain. But Special Burst Lock, whenever the defender activates a special attack, defender is afflicted with both a heal block and an armor break. Not great, but you get Power Shield. Power Reversal, that's annoying. Each of the defender's attacks, you tear the rupture attacker's armor breaks a fissure, whatever it is. That's really annoying. Red Hulk is actually pretty alright, to be honest, as long as you're playing well. And Hulkbuster, the same. Except for you've got to really watch out for Shock. Shock's the most annoying aspect of that champion. Hence why on this, Dr. Doom, Corvus, yeah, but Corvus do be working well. Sorcerer Supreme, Colossus, Black Widow, Clairvoyant, Longshot. I think of this, I would have wanted to use either Colossus or maybe some other champions, but it's just dealing with that power gain that's annoying. So maybe Black Widow, Clairvoyant, rotating around the SP2 could be an option. Sorcerer Supreme, maybe. But, you know, it's a pretty tricky fight. It's a pretty annoying fight. Corvus was fun to a degree, but then started being less fun. However, moving on. But Longshot as well can do that punishment of the power gain buffs. But there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Rhino, Nick Fury, Human Torch, Warlock, Elsa Bloodstone, Ghost. It's a no-brainer. Nick Fury for me was my my champion of choice. And for Hulkbuster, Magneto, Corvus, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Human Torch, Hyperion. I think Cosmic Ghost Rider is... No, he's not Shock Immune, but that's I'm thinking of Silver Surface is wrong Herald. But Corvus, I think, was my go-to champion on this one. The other ones, you know, work relatively well. I'm not sure if any other kind of like interactions would be good, but I just think that between Magneto, Corvus, because it's hashtag metal, Magneto, Corvus, maybe Cosmic Ghost Rider, probably some of the best options there. In the spirit of speeding things along, just to kind of like go over this and blitz through it and talk about some stuff. For the Wraths, because they're very specific in 7.1.4 to the respective types of Wraths, like you have one for Mutant, Cosmic, Skill, etc. Having one of every single champion works out well. They work fine. Pressure Gauge is all about having some Mystics to take on content, and that works. They work pretty well. Doctor Doom, Black Widow, Clairvoyant, I think were the ones I liked and enjoyed the most, especially because I think the build-up goes into play against Hela, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Energy Adoption, so Warlock, Cap Infinity War, and Nick Fury. Those are the main champions I use, but other suggestions are Falcon, Havoc, Ghost. Polka Dot Power, Human Torch, Black Widow, Clairvoyant, Longshot, Cap Infinity War, Nick Fury. Again, that just works out well against that node. Hyperion, Elsa Bloodstone, Immortal Abomination, Sunspot from the lads info. Arc Overload, Medusa, Corvus, Doom, Archangel, Black Widow, Clairvoyant. I mean, that works well. Suppress that Arc Overload. It's a regeneration buff. That's just no-brainer. Suppress it by that means. But Magneto, Quake, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Ghost can work well into some of the interactions and other stuff like that. Aspect of War, Archangel, Nick Fury, Aegon, Magneto, Black Widow, Deadly Origin, and other options are Stealth Suit, Spidey, She-Hulk, Elsa Bloodstone, and Quake. Okay, let's talk about the bosses now. Now, here's the thing. Archangel, Magneto, Warlock, Black Widow, Clairvoyant, Mysterio, Immortal Abomination. It's up to you if you want to play into this. Mysterio could be a really cool option. The same with Immortal Abomination, ramping up the poison damage. For me personally, Magneto and Archangel were the two champions who used against this, but Warlock can work the same way. Hela, man, I hella pimp slapped her. So she is like gaining buffs at a rapid rate. So I was just pimp slapping her to the cows come home. Doctor Doom, Ronan can work as well if you're looking to get the perma stunt. If you've got it, Black Widow, Clairvoyant, and Longshot to deal with that particular situation. It's just a case of pimp slapping or kind of like suppressing buffs. So other champion options could be used against that. Caustic Temper, okay? Maybe it's important to look at the options that deal with Caustic Temper. So the defender has a 50% chance to inflict a poison when struck, dealing 15% attacker. Additionally, if the attacker has no active Fury buffs, the defender takes 90% less damage. Very, very important. But finishing a 5-hit combo with a light or medium attack grants the attacker a passive Fury. So you might be playing into that narrative. I think for this, I just went with like Cap Infinity War for this. It was a very slow fight, I think, but maybe it's a case of I bring Heimdall, it could kind of like ramp up the speed a little bit more with it. But look, you know, you've got other options for this. She-Hulk could be pretty good against this. Guillotine 2099, Hulk Ragnarok. There's a whole host of different champions for this. That could be really good in interaction. 7.1.5 now. Energy Adoption Path, Nick Fury, Warlock, Black Widow, Clairvoyant, Doctor Doom, Cap, Infinity War. Other options could be Ghost, Archangel, Blade, Falcon. Again, works well into the node. Spite. Look, this is the one that annoys me, but Red Guardian deals with that very nicely. Archangel could be fun. Warlock, but I think I've got that in there because that's on my team for the boss or a boss fight. So take it with a pinch of salt. Human Torch as well, well-rounded in delivery, and with Doctor Doom, don't do an SP3 because again that plays into Spite. Ghost, Hood, Wasp, Quake. You know, that winning combination. I'm also with the Hood buff, but I haven't incorporated that into this. Do Not Go Gentle, Human Torch, Archangel, Doctor Doom, Warlock, Black Widow, Clairvoyant. The regulars, Ghost, Magic, Elsa Bloodstone, and Mega Red as well. Ultimate Power, Longshot, Black Widow, Clairvoyant, Doctor Doom, Archangel, Namor, Mega Red, Elsa Bloodstone, Quake, Magic for assistance, or kind of like other options. Life Cycle, 3 champions I absolutely love for this is Doctor Doom, Warlock, and Archangel. So those 3 there. But Human Torch, Falcon along for the ride. But Guillotine 2099 deals with it. So does Cap Infinity War with a tech champion. Magneto, and yeah, Longshot just have in there as well. Terminal Velocity, Doctor Doom, Human Torch, Nick Fury, Archangel, Black Widow, Deadly Origin, Guardian, Quake, and Ghost with Hood as a little helpful addition there. And that's the thing. This one in particular, when it comes to like boss interaction, very, very important because I did not enjoy Electric Luke without Falcon. Falcon for me was the best option for this. It was the most enjoyable. I tried Namor and it just didn't work. I tried 200 Signature and it just didn't work against the playstyle for me. However, though, there are so many other options for this. You could go down the line of Quake, Havoc, Daredevil's Hell's Kitchen, and it's up to you. If you're good with Namor, good with Namor. Sometimes things work, sometimes they do not. But over to the right, and we have got ourselves a nice little Knight Carnage. For this one, Archangel was the greatest champion for this, but I did find there were a few issues here and there, so do watch out, do play as cautiously. But Corvus, Doctor Doom, Immortal Abomination, Black Widow, Clairvoyant, Sorcerer Supreme, She-Hulk could be other options, depending if you want to suppress the extent of kind of slow coming in. But as well, playing into the poison vulnerability narrative could be something to your advantage and benefit. Going over to the right, and we have got ourselves the delightful Punishing Angel. Now, I didn't enjoy Mercy, but once I understood it, it was something that was quite good. You just have to do like loads of evades and top up your Mercy in order to do damage on the enemy. It was something that I didn't particularly like, but got over it, did the thing, and now a happy day. So yeah, do some evading and build some of those Mercy charges, and you'll be able to do some damage. Magneto, Warlock, Doctor Doom, Ghost, and Sunspot were the options. I think Magneto was the best option for me when I did this. And finally, Act 7.1.6. So we have got Clapback, where Human Torch, Doctor Doom, Red Guardian, Nick Fury, and Cap Infinity War was used. Sunspot, Ghost, Havoc, Immortal Abomination for alternative options. Cap Infinity War for Footloose, along with Black Widow, Clairvoyant, Archangel, Doctor Doom, Red Guardian, She-Hulk, Ghost. Destructive Feedback. Any champion will do, especially with that. You just got to be good and make sure to hit in at the right time and avoid it at the right time as well. Yes, you can use the age-old thing, which I have not put on here, which is you can use the likes of Void and Killmonger together. So that's an option as well. But any champion really will do with that. But Particle Reflector, Apocalypse, Hulkbuster, Venom, Warlock, Human Torch, Domino Trinity, and Quake. Biohazard, Apocalypse, Colossus, Magneto, Namor, Warlock, Omega Red, Cable with Apocalypse, Ghost, Quake, and Colossus as... oh no, I've done that twice. All those as potential options. And then Recharge with Corvus, Hyperion, Cap Infinity War, Magneto. And then follow up with the Ghost, Cosmic Ghost Rider. And this is the thing. With 6.1.6, you're on your last legs, your last thing to do. And these champions are actually... not too bad, especially from the end boss perspective, and especially with a delightful remix. So with the bosses side of things, if we go over to the far left hand side, you have got the Ice Phoenix. Now for this, because there's a lot of emphasis on like encroaching stun meets the kind of cold elements, interacting with it is kind of important. So for this and this champion, I used Warlock. I actually like that the most. Corvus was my second champion option, but Colossus, Ghost, and Human Torch are secondary options to this that could be helpful. But I think I used Warlock and Corvus for the interaction, especially in incorporating both elements. So it was just like a no-brainer for me. Over to the top part, we have got ourselves a little Spider Witch. Spider Witch is a little annoying with Backblast, and as well having Staggering Beauty. And for me, I didn't like Special Chaos Inversion. That annoyed me. Also, you will find that because the kit's in there, Scarlet Witch, you might get yourself poisoned now and again. So do be very careful here. I think that Human Torch, which is my go-to champion, is good. With Falcon as an assist champion, which could be a relatively good option. It definitely deals with a lot of the spider elements of evade, because I'm pretty certain that champion evades Quake. Immortal Abomination actually could be a really solid champion for this, so the lads put that in here. Black Widow, Clairvoyant, good option, and you can rotate around certain things when it comes to like the poison immunity. Cap Infinity War, providing you've got yourself a little bit of coverage of different types of champions on your team, like a skill, for example. Archangel as well, I thought that was quite good. But yes, this now leads us on to the last champion. This can be absolutely cheesed by Magneto, and it is Gwen Perion. Especially with high energy, not so much with that one. Selective time stream, every 20 seconds, the defender health is instantly restored to full. That's the annoying thing, selective time stream. So this champion will get all its health back. So the interaction with this is best off with Magneto. You can try Ronan. I didn't have a Ronan. A lot of people were saying go for that one. Warlock can be an alternate option, but you are going against the grain of the class advantage disadvantage. Sunspot, Mysterio, Sentinel, especially if you're looking to heal block. There's lots of elements there to coverage. But yeah, that's gone over that. I tried to make this video as timely as possible, so I really hope this is no longer than 15 minutes long because, as I said, I've done a typed up version. We've got it on screen, so you can pause the screen here. But it's nice if you've got something listening on in of me going over a few things as well. In any case, thank you very much for supporting this content. A lot of effort and time went into this. Shout out to the people I mentioned and as well the Discord for putting their info in on this. I'll be doing something similar in the future when it comes to Act 6 and as well breaking that down to Act 6.1, 2, 3 and 4, etc. as the time goes on. But it's going to take a long time because this video took a long time to make. So thanks for watching. See you all soon. Bye-bye.